Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Angel Storm. I'm the founder of Ashes to Beauty Ministries. Thanks for joining me today. I'm talking to you about how to not question that everybody's a narcissist. So after you've been exposed to narcissism and you understand that such people can exist in the world, it can be really difficult for you to not assume that everybody is a narcissist, or that somebody tells a lie, or you catch somebody whose story doesn't really make sense and you start thinking or overanalyzing about all of their past behaviors and actions, and did they do anything that would really make you think that they're also a narcissist. And this is super common for people to kind of just assume that narcissists are everywhere, or that everybody who's in their life is a narcissist now. And in some cases there's a lot of truth to that, because narcissists tend to attract people who will either enable their behavior or who accept their behavior because they also do the behavior, because they also are narcissists or also have narcissistic tendencies that are very high. There is some truth to that. So definitely taking a look at people's behaviors and opinions and the way that they do or do not react to things that the narcissist does, you know, in terms of the people that are already in your life. When you discover that you're in a relationship with a narcissist, or that your boss is a narcissist, or whoever the narcissist seems to be in your life, taking a look at how other people respond is definitely going to help you know if you have, at the very least, an unhealthy relationship with those people. If you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, I hope I've made it super clear that there are unlimited number of unhealthy people or toxic people that aren't necessarily narcissists. So they may have unhealthy traits or tendencies, behaviors, and personality characteristics, but they're not narcissists. And so understanding that somebody can be toxic and not a narc is super important when it comes to categorizing or analyzing other people's behaviors and whether or not you should be in a relationship with them. So first of all is understanding that you cannot want to be in a relationship with somebody, have any type of communication or whatever with somebody because they're toxic, because that behavior is unhealthy for you. And that's okay. And that doesn't mean that they're a narcissist. There's other things that could be going on there, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. The second thing is that if for whatever reason, when you've left the narcissist, that narcissistic relationship has ended, there may be other relationships that left your life with it. So for one reason or another, you were forced to cut ties with family and friends, communities such as church organizations, you maybe left a new job, whatever your situation was. That's common that you will lose a lot of people in your life when you break ties with a narcissist. And expecting that to happen, unfortunately, is going to give you the best footing to rebuild your life in the future. So understanding that you'll lose more than just the narcissist, and that that's okay. You don't want to keep toxic relationships in your life just because you've always had them. You know, you'll continue to repeat the same patterns of behavior unless you make a change. And sometimes that means just saying no to having a relationship or having contact with a person or certain groups of people in your life. And that's okay. When you're moving forward out of that situation, that's the time where people can start to get really lonely. They miss the community that they used to have. They start thinking about only the good times that they had with a narcissist or with the narcissist enablers, and they start thinking like maybe they're the ones who are wrong. And that is a very slippery slope to start going down. Instead, I'd like to challenge you to start thinking about your future relationships. You don't want something that just looks nice on the outside, or something that you just have good times with. You know that all relationships will have rough patches, bumpy roads, and that's okay. You need to know how to handle conflict appropriately in any type of situation, in any type of relationship, whether we're talking about individual relationships or we're talking about relationships in terms of countries or organizations, systems, and things like that. So there's always going to be conflict, and understanding that conflict by itself is not unhealthy. So being prepared to deal with conflict. And there is a lot of stuff that you can do to prepare yourself for that. You can take communication courses. You can take negotiation courses. You can hire somebody who can help you deflect questions that you don't want to field because maybe you're going to have a lot of people asking you what happened or whatever. There's all types of training that you can do. You just have to put in a little bit of effort and actually do those things. You have to recognize the fact that maybe you don't know all of the information that you need in order to be equipped to step into the next season of your life. So when you're in that period of transition, that's the time to do all of your inner work. You aren't with a narcissist, all of the toxic people have left your life, and now you're really wanting to get back within a community, or you really want to have that space that they occupied refilled with healthy people, but first you need to be healthy. So do the work. Don't try to rush into finding a group of friends or getting into another relationship or whatever your case is, simply because you want that space filled. That space feels lonely only because you are out of touch with your own self in that space. You need to fill that space yourself. You should not be looking for somebody to complete you or an outside activity to complete you, to find your identity in. You need to be a whole person entering into a community of a bunch of other whole people that all work together. You should be able to come 100% of who you are, and another person 100% of who they are. And that's how healthy relationships work, of all kinds. So understanding that part where you really, really want that space filled, that feeling is letting you know that there's work to be done during this time. So take advantage of it, because when you are healthy, you will attract healthy people into your life. Okay, so moving forward, you've gotten healthy, you understand how to communicate, you understand how to set healthy boundaries and enforce them. Now it comes time to implement all of the knowledge that you've gained over that period of time that you've been healing, that you've been working on yourself, that you've been gaining all of these new skills and coping mechanisms to help you deal with life in the future in a healthy way. So step number one, of course, is boundaries. What types of people do you need in your life? You should be asking yourself this question. You should be really looking at the season of life that you're in. You should have a goal or a plan for your life. What do you want your life to look like in 5 years and 10 years? And how does the season that you're in now fit into that whole picture? So that puzzle piece that you're in right now, this current season of life that you're in, goes to a larger picture, in other words, and every step should be building upon one another. So, for example, when I was working on my PhD, my doctorate work, I didn't have time to do anything besides work and work on my doctorate, and that's it. And I literally did not see not one of my friends for 6 months. And I told all of my friends ahead of time, please don't invite me. The answer is going to be no. In 6 months, I'm going to call you and I'm going to tell you, I'm ready to go out for brunch or whatever. And so there has to be just understanding, like, this season of life isn't going to last forever, but right now this is what I need. And being able to not only know that yourself, but communicate it to other people. Okay. So how does this season of life fit into the overall picture of your life? It might mean that you want to try a lot of different things. You want to go and explore different things that your town offers, or, get involved in a bunch of different clubs so you can try new activities and meet different types of people. That's awesome. That's great. That is not going to be your life forever and ever. So you can go and enjoy that period of time, if that's the season that you're in, guilt-free, knowing that you're not wasting time or you're just doing, nonsense activities. It's not that way. You're exploring, you're getting to learn more about yourself, discover new activities and people and events. That's awesome. Those experiences are super important for you. So understanding that as well, so that you can go and be free to explore different activities guilt-free. But, maybe the season of life isn't that for you. Maybe it's, I need a new job, so I got, this promotion and I need to spend some time right now working on my career. I don't really have time to meet a lot of people or to go to a lot of activities, so I'm going to pick one thing that I do a month in order to start learning how to be around people and implement the healthy boundaries and the healthy relationship skills, interpersonal skills that I've learned in that period of healing. That's great. Whatever the season of life is for you in your specific instance, you know, I can't know all of those things. You need to just look at those, decide what type of season you're in right now, and implement in your schedule and in your habits, the things that you do on a regular basis, on a daily basis, into who you are, into what you do. So it's not like, okay, I went through that period of healing and now I'm good and I can just move forward. You need to bring all of that stuff with you and be intentional about implementing healthy boundaries. Why do you want that person in your life? Let's say you guys click. That's awesome. But remember the patterns of behavior that got you into the relationship or the situation with the narcissist in the first place, which had to do with lack of boundaries. Trust needs to be built, it needs to be earned, and time is the only thing that can make you understand if that person is trustworthy or not. Okay, talk is cheap. You need to give the person an opportunity to prove to you that they are who they say they are. Don't just take their word for it. So again, I hope that this kind of helps you understand that there are toxic people that you just might want to say, like, nope, I recognize that red flag. That's an unhealthy person, and I'm not going to try to invite chaos back into my life after I've just done this massive cleanup of myself and my own personal space, as well as my interpersonal relationships. I'm not bringing that. I'm not going down that road again. That's okay. That is okay for you to say, I'm not going to, entertain that as a relationship. That's great. That's part of growth. So I hope this helps you guys decide who's a narcissist, who isn't. But ultimately, when it comes down to trust, it all has to be earned. Whether they're a narcissist or not, a healthy person will still have to earn your trust, and a healthy person will be okay with that. They will respect the fact that you respect yourself, and they will expect respect back from you in return. That this will be a mutual relationship, that what I give is also what I will receive, and that's ultimately how healthy relationships work. So thanks so much for joining me on this video. Again, I'm Dr. Angel Storm, and if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, please do so below and turn on that little bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel.